Hello lovely people, how are you all doing today? I hope you are all well. I'm fine. I'm a bit warm today. Got my fan handy. Oh. It's the simplest thing, isn't it? A paper fan. But what a difference. Yeah, it is feeling a little bit warm today and I'm on a mission. So I'm going to be taking a bus in a moment. So yeah, I definitely want to have my fan handy. So what's on the agenda for me today? Firstly, so yeah, I'm on a bus mission. I need to go and look at computers. I've been putting it off for so long. Sorry. Yeah, I've been putting it off for some time, and I think it's partly because of the expense, but it's partly because I just don't know what I'm doing when it comes to computers. I've had a little bit of advice from a friend though, so more of that later. So the idea this morning is I'm going to go to a couple of miles down the road from me where we've got a big, what do you call it, like a retail park. So there's all this sort of massive branches of different sort of like DIY plays. There's a big massive version of Sainsbury's. Actually, because I am going to go on the bus down there, I'm going to just dive into Sainsbury's, that big Sainsbury's, while I'm there, just to see if they've got any offers on the wild deodorant, because I think they stock it. We'll have a mooch anyway. But the main thing is to go down to Curry's. Is it officially called Curry's PC World these days? They joined up, didn't they? Curry's, the electrical superstore, and PC World for PCs. Sorry. So I thought, right, let me go and just have a look, get some advice. I've got this list. It was our Paul. Paul has been really helpful. He's given me a list of things I need to ask for. So today, I'm not going to buy it straight away. So I'm going to go and just have a look at what they've got and their prices. And then I've got the phone number for the people that both Paul and Richard have used, and they sort of build computers, bespoke computers to your spec requirements. So then, yeah, that's later. So I'm just going to go and price them. But while I'm there, I thought, because the shop's in Two Halves, I mean, it's a massive place. I'm going to take my camera and hopefully I might be able to do a bit of filming in there. I'm not sure how they feel about that, but anyway, I'll try. So there's masses and masses of computers and phones and all that whole digital world that I'm terrified of. And then on the other side of the shop, much more familiar to me, they've got a section that's all the small kitchen gadgets, so blenders, food processors, all that sort of thing. So I thought I'm going to have a look at toasters while I'm there, and then towards the back of the shop gets the bigger appliances, so fridges, freezers, washing machines, massive tellies and all that kind of stuff. Oh, and a vacuum cleaner. My toaster, I was working this out the other day, my toaster is 25 years old and my vacuum cleaner is 24 years old, quarter century appliances, and they're both, they're both on their last legs. I can still use them. It's just that I know they are going to need replacing at some point. So again, I'm not going to buy those items today. I'm just going to have a look to see what's out there and the prices, because I think I'm probably going to have a bit of a shock, aren't I? I think just generally when it comes to retail, I'm so out of the loop because I just don't buy stuff. And generally when I'm buying something other than food, I buy second hand. So yeah, let's get down there, price up toasters, vacuum cleaners, laptops, dive into the massive Sainsbury's to see if they've got any wild deodorant on offer. And if they have, I'll stock up. Also down there, I might just have a little look in. There's a massive B&Q, which for those outside of the UK, it's a DIY store, kind of builders supplies, DIY. So that's where in the past I've gone for anything that my little local ironmongers can't supply. So you go there for your timber, paint, power tools, sandpaper. It's all of that kind of stuff. They also do kitchens and bathrooms and all of that kind of stuff. But out the back, they've got a really tiny little garden section. I mean, they're not specialist, they're not nurserymen or women. But yeah, I might just go and have a little nosy. Not going to buy anything. Just kind of a nosy and fantasise about a new garden to come. Right, so that's enough chat. Let's get on. Hopefully I can get my camera out while we're out and about. Otherwise, if that's not going to be possible, we'll reconvene here. Yeah, because a couple of other things I want to catch up on today. So, fingers crossed. Anyway, never mind that. Let's get out and see what I can get up to. Well, that was dead easy. So that is the massive Sainsbury's. Not going there just yet. I'm coming around here. I'm coming over this side. I thought I'd show you this because maybe some of our friends overseas don't know what our UK retail, Talk and Walk UK retail parks look like. It's just so easy and accessible for me because where I was just stood is the bus stop, just dropped me off, and the bus stop is almost outside my home at the other end. Bus came within 2 minutes, couldn't be easier. So some folk have talked to me about for cheaper grocery shopping, about Aldi. So there is an Aldi there, but of course the bus fare there and back is £3.50. So that's why I don't come down here. And then there's a pet superstore, a next superstore, but there we go, that's Curry's. So maybe it's just called Curry's and not Curry's PC World. If we carry on down there and around the back, there's some proper builders merchants. But I'm, first of all, quick, let's cross the road, even though it's a zebra crossing. I'm going to go to that building there. That's the start of B&Q. That's the one that's sort of like a DIY superstore. You get all your carpentry, plumbing, whatever, all your DIY products there. So I'm going to go and sneak out the back and have a little look at plants and planters and pots and things. Beautiful day. Look at that. It's actually really quite warm. A few budding plants outside. Unfortunately, I did just... look at the pinks. I love pinks. I did just go out the back and there were some nice plants, but I couldn't do any filming because of piped music. I passionately loathe piped music. That jingly, jangly pop music that's it's no good to anyone. Anyway, what a shame, because otherwise I could hear birds singing out the back. It would have been nicer to just listen to birds whilst shopping for plants. That's a nice one in white, isn't it? Oh my goodness, 3 plants, £10. Well, if I do have a bit of a flower garden in my next home, I think it will largely be either from seed or from cuttings. Some ferns. Yeah. If there's a shady spot to the garden. Anyway, yeah, that's a shame not to be able to show you the plants out the back. Just because of hideous piped music. Right, that's enough dilly-dallying. Let's go and look at toasters, vacuum cleaners and computers. Obviously I'm back home. It's so warm. So filming didn't go quite how I planned. However, I managed to do things I wanted to do. Let me fill you in. I was just thinking today actually how it's muggy, it's close. I think it's because without having a garden this year, I've spent way less time outdoors than I would normally and that I have in previous years. So I think I'm just not reacclimatised to summer this year. And I think because spring was so cold and so wet for ages and grey, I don't know, it just feels like, oh, quick, it's summer, be summery. Anyway, I'm not complaining, just noting. Right, so after I saw you, it's been a bit of a weird one, and I'll come to this properly in a minute, but thank goodness, on my way to my bus stop, something lovely happened, which, oh, it's just calmed me down perfectly. Not something, someone, two somebodies. Sorry, I'm going to be having loads of slugs of water because it is a muggy day. Right, so after the garden centre, the next stop was Curry's. Unfortunately, and I started to film and then I suddenly clicked, it's more blimmin' piped music, and it's horrible. It's sort of really tinny and loud and slightly some kind of slight distortion on it, what have you, but it's just real pop. I mean, there's a bit of Madonna, this, that and the other, but honestly I found it an assault on my senses, and I could feel myself starting to feel a little bit sensory stressed. And look, I don't mind noise and I don't mind crowds and I don't mind all that, but there's just something about when you're trying to make a purchase of something quite expensive, it's a one-off purchase, hopefully that's going to last, say with a toaster, 25, 30 years, all of that, it's too confusing. Anyway, so it meant I couldn't film. But I did go and look at prices, and oh my God, my jaw did drop to the floor. There was that Smeg brand, you know, that do the fridge, and they're beautiful objects. I mean, it was in the hundreds and hundreds. Ridiculous. It's a toaster. Get a grip. Yes, it's a lovely design and I'm sure it's well made, but honestly, you're paying for the name. Just, you want a cream toaster? I mean, it was in the hundreds. I snorted in derision out loud. Anyway, the absolute cheapest toaster I could see was £50. Smaller than my current one. I'll come to my current one in a second. Smaller than even my current one. So for a likeness with my current one, it looks like about £75, £80. I mean, good grief, it's ridiculous. It's a flipping toaster, guys. Then I looked at the Hoovers vacuum cleaners, and I mean, again, in the hundreds, over 500 quid for a blimmin' vacuum cleaner. Are you crazy out of your mind? I ain't paying that, it's mad. Cheapest vacuum I could see there, I think was 150, cheapest. And I was looking at it and I was thinking, there were tons of them around the 300 for vacuums, loads of them around the 300 to 400 mark. And I was thinking most of the toasters seem to be about 100 to 150. Those two items, you could be spending 500 quid. That's a month's earnings for me, a whole month's earnings for two household items. No thanks. You know, like I did say this morning that I might be shocked. I was well and truly shocked, and you know what? My toaster's on the way out, and my Hoover vacuum, is on the way out. But I'm jolly well gonna just giddy now. I'm jolly well gonna keep them going because, yeah, it's crazy. One thing, I'll come on to that in a second. So, having had a look at those, I then went onto the other side of the store. It is a massive store for the computer bit. And something a bit strange happened to me. I think it was possibly almost on the verge of a panic attack. I don't know. But I turn around and I'm looking just at this sea of laptops and tablets and books, they call them now, don't they? Books. And I I'm feeling it right now. I just felt this whoosh of feeling utterly overwhelmed and out of my depth, and I'm drowning, and this panic set in, and the music in my head, and it was just a really, really horrible moment. And I thought, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm here. I am drowning. This music is choking me. Just all these weird sensory things went on, and I thought, you know, I'm about to cry. I thought, I'm about to cry. This is ridiculous, Vivi, get a grip. So I went over to, near the exit actually, there's a customer service counter where you go for repairs. And I know that area fairly well from my computer, having had a number of repairs over the years. And I happen to know that there's some seats over there. So I went and sat down and grabbed my water bottle and took a slug, grabbed the fan, fanned myself and gave myself a talking to. I felt really, really weepy. It's ridiculous. And I said, look, Vivi, you have to A, get a grip. B, you have to get a new laptop. You have to deal with this, even though it's really out of your comfort zone and it's making you cry, want to cry in the middle of a shop. Pull your socks up, deal with it, girl. So I did. So I went over to a member of staff and I said, I need some help. Please can you suggest a member of staff for me to talk to about laptops? I have a specific list of requests for it. I need someone in the know. They said they'd fetch someone, so I had to wait a while, maybe 15 minutes, and then a guy came over, sat next to me. I explained, said, I don't know a thing, but this is my list of requirements. Basically, Paul had said, you're going to need X, Y, and Z. He gave me some words. So I went through that, and the gentleman said, oh, well, there's this one, and he because he was looking at it all on his tablet device. And he said, oh, because this one's got, this is an i5. And I was like, what does that mean? Because he was saying it as if it's a good thing, but he might as well have been saying, this is a flu bop. Yay, it's a flu bop, yay! So he tried to explain about it being the engine or something. Anyway, so it's of all the I's you can get, it's in the middle of the range. It's to do with the speed for processing. That's what I was after, so that I can render my videos more quickly than 4, 5, 6 hours. Anyway, then he said something else, and I said, sorry, what does that mean? And he said, oh, well, it's like, I think it was gigabytes. He said, oh, it's like half a terabyte. And I said, yeah, but what does that mean? I don't know what these words mean. I didn't do that in the shop. I said, okay, we're not getting anywhere with this language. So what I'd like to know instead is, for example, how many minutes or hours of video footage could that cope with in terms of memory? And he said, oh, I see what you mean. Anyway, so we kind of worked through it together. So he's pointed out a model for me. It's 850 quid. He did say what was my price range, and I said, well, absolute tops is 1,000, absolute tops, but I'd rather be nearer to 800. So that looks great. So now what I will do, where's my notes? I've made a note of that particular model. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to call Richard and Paul's computer guys. Richard and Paul both have computers. They do similar work to me in terms of making videos and that kind of content. They also do other work. And they've really been recommending this company to me. It's all sort of hand-built and what have you. So I'm going to ring them and I'm going to ask them, now that I've got the specs from the off-the-shelf one, I'm going to find out how much it would cost them to build me one with similar specs, or even spec it up a bit if it needs to be specced up. I don't even know if that's the right wordage. But anyway, yeah, so I can crack on and do that now. I'll probably do that after I finish chatting to you. So yes, toaster, vacuums can wait. Oh, but one thing I did do the other day was so this is my ancient, what did I say, 25 years old. But I gave it a really good cleaning the other day. Look, oh look, there we go, that's reflecting you, me, everyone. I gave it a really good scrub, including things like, you know, the depressor that's got little ridges in it, the dust and crumbs catch there, even all around places like this, all the other knobs and bits and bobs. I gave it a really good scrub and then buffed the stainless steel again. It probably took me, I don't know, 15 minutes or so to, actually probably a bit longer, because where the depressor thing is, it's got those ridges on. I couldn't quite get in, so I used I did the old sort of toothbrush with cloth over it trick to kind of get in, maybe 20 minutes or whatever. But it got me thinking, because I thought, well, at least it sort of works. It just means when I push the depressor down, I have to put one of my cast iron lids on the end of it to hold it down, so it doesn't pop on its own. But otherwise, you know, it's okay, and it looks attractive, it's smart and clean. But it did get me thinking about all these kind of kitchen gadgets. How often do we clean them? How often do I clean them? The world's worst cleaner. I mean, look, about once a week or so, I do the bare minimum of cleaning. I dust and I hoover. And with the bathroom gets scrubbed once a week, and the kitchen all gets, well, the kitchen gets cleaned every single day, doesn't it? You know, we're cooking, the kitchen is always in action, and pretty much one of the last things before I go to bed each night is everything gets washed down, everything's washed up, tidied, put away. So everything gets that kind of a bit of cleaning either daily or weekly. But things like cleaning my gadgets, especially, you know, when you think about, say, a blender, food processor, obviously the top bit, the juggy bit of any of those, that gets washed as soon as it's used, and the blades and all that. But the bases, the bit that houses the motor, of course that never gets washed up because you don't put it in the washing machine, it's electric. So how often do we give the bases more than a cursory quick wipe? So I make soup, goes everywhere, I finish with my blender and I give it a quick wipe, of course I do. But like right into the knob, into little crevices. Yeah, I just don't do it. And then every now and again I think, you know, wow, that's filthy. When did I last really clean it? Oh, it was 5 years ago. Oh. So, I kind of thought to myself, oh, because, I wonder if I should show you this as well. Sorry, this is going all over the place today, isn't it? I didn't really know where today was going to go. I'm gagging to down a load of water. It's so humid. Anyway, I've done the front window. I cleaned it. Remember I said it was one of my next projects. I had all the sticky stuff on. That's done. I got it off with rubbing alcohol. It took a little bit of an effort. I'll show it to you another day, but it's done. So I got all the sticky bits off. Then the entire window frames got scrubbed, and then I cleaned the windows. And that was another one of those. I thought, well, actually, I clean the windows often. I mean, not every week, but often. The window frames, well, anything that's on that plane, so like the ledge, that gets dusted as part of the weekly dusting. But going up, the side bits, the top bits, I can't remember the last time I washed them. And I just thought in my head, you know, I could probably do with, say, we do all our normal weekly cleaning, daily cleaning, kitchen is a daily clean, everything else weekly clean. Is that maybe one Saturday a month, I take the rooms in turn, so it would be bathroom, kitchen, and then I divide that big room into living room, bedroom, so 4 rooms in rotation. So on one day a month, that room gets a really deep clean. So it's things like window frames, everything off shelves, furniture moved out, everything. So it's not only dusted, but everything gets a wipe down, skirtings, tops of pipes that are way up there. Just one day a month to really, really thoroughly clean a room and its contents. And that would mean that each room got a deep clean 3 times a year. So in theory, those cleans should get quicker, because then they're only going to be unattended for, no, sorry, yeah, it's going to be in a 4-month rotation each room. so the dirt and the muck shouldn't build up quite so much, so it gets quicker each time. And by doing that, it also, you know, you can keep an eye on things like the paintwork. Are things looking scuffed? Am I going to need to think about redecorating, or say doing the woodwork at least? Or, oh, is that lock coming a bit loose? You get the drift. Yes, that all came about by me giving my toaster a really thorough clean, so that it would at least look all shiny and lovely, even if it doesn't work as well as it ought to. Right, hang on, I'm just going to go and have a top up of this water. I'm going to refill things. Hang on a tick. Whew. It's the humidity that's doing me today. It's not actually, you know, the air temperature is not that high, but with the humidity, it's just, oh, I want to be sitting in I was going to say a swimming pool. No, never mind a swimming pool. I want to be sitting in the sea. Oh, up to here or up to here in the sea. Just anyway, right, I'm refilled. Let's carry on. So, where was I? Yeah, deep clean. Look after your equipment. Make it last. Shocked at prices. So I left Curry's. So I've got what I did while I was in there. The one he showed me. It's always a bit I'm going to say something very quickly. It's a bit disconcerting because I had my camera with me, and rather than writing things down, I just got my camera out and took a shot of this computer sitting on the counter and its details. And it was 950, and then he was talking about another one on his tablet. He said, oh yeah, we don't have this in stock, but we can get it in, and it's 850. And I said, what's the difference? And he said, oh, well, the 850 one, it's got a bigger memory. And I said, well, that's kind of, so it's bigger, it's better. So why is this one more expensive? And at first he said, I don't know. It's kind of like, they look the same make. And he didn't know. And then he went, oh, it's because this one's a touch screen. So the 950 is touch screen. I do not need a touch screen. But I was a bit disconcerted at first. He was like, I don't know. It's like, what's your job to know? Anyway, I left there. I think I'd been in that shop about half an hour by then. And of course, it's all walking around and saying, I did sit when I was chatting to him. I'd had that kind of peak of anxiety. Came out and I was like, okay, just being outside felt better because the music had stopped. There was a breeze, lovely breeze. And I thought, okay, just now allow yourself to really calm. Don't think about the computer anymore in this moment. You'll think about it when you go home and make the phone call. Just don't think about it anymore. You've got the info tucked away on the camera. It's all fine. You are fine, Vivi. You are well. You are in control. You are breathing. Honestly, I had to talk myself down. So then I popped into that, you know, I was saying it's a massive Sainsbury's. And so, sorry, what I'd forgotten to say this morning was because I'd ordered something, because inside that whopping great Sainsbury's, there's an Argos in the corner, and I ordered something from them last night to collect because I knew that I was going to go down to look at the computers. I knew that I was going to do that in person. So I thought, right, you're spending your bus fare, you might as well, let's see, you know, what else can I do in that neighbourhood while I'm there? So I'll show you my purchase in a second. Anyway, so I went into Sano's and I've done some spending today. I've spent a total of £20.69. But what I was pleased about, I'm going to show you these quickly because I need to get them chilled. I've talked in the past, oh, more, give me more. I want to sit under a shower. I've mentioned in the past that I use a fake Parmigiano. It can't be called Parmesan because it's not made in that region and it's not made with rennet, and rennet is the ingredient that makes it not vegetarian. So I talk about the one I get and it's vegetarian and it's so, I mean, look, you would think that's Parmigiano, wouldn't you? It tastes very similar from what I can remember. Put it this way, I've given it to friends who aren't veggie and they've not gone, oh, this isn't a proper Parmigiano. And I kept forgetting. I had said in the past it's from Sainsbury's value range, and their value range changed names about, was it a year ago or more? I don't know, and I couldn't remember it, and every time I've used any in a video, it's come from a bit in the freezer. In other words, I bought a packet, I've opened it, chucked the label up, chucked the packet away, and then I've used half there and then the other half in the freezer. It comes out of the freezer in a video and I go, oh, I've got no packaging to show you. So now I can show it to you. It's Sainsbury's cheap and cheerful range, and it's called Stamford Street Company. Oh, I was trying to give it some edge. It's just their value range. And that was £2.80. So look, even at value range, it's still a treat. You don't use much of it though, so this I will chop into probably thirds. You have to kind of work out, because obviously that's a skinny bit, so it go a bit further down, and then it's still a treat cheese, isn't it? You know, compared with, how many grams is that? It's 200 for £2.80, and what is cheddar? You could probably get 400 for £2.90. So it's almost twice the price of a value cheddar. However, I like it and I think it's worth it, and because I was down there today, I'm going to grab it, because if I don't go down there, I do shop at Sainsbury's. There's one up the road from me, but it's one of those, the Metro, it's not, it's local, it's Sainsbury's local, Tesco Metro. On my immediate high street, the supermarkets, they're the big name supermarkets, but they're the teeny tiny little hole in the wall supermarkets. So I got that, that's £2.80. I also thought I would try, because I want it for lunch now, I want to make some vivijg, because I've got all the other ingredients. I just didn't have any feta. So again, it's this Stamford Street, and they simply call it Greek style. They can't call it feta. Salad cheese. It says on the back of the packet, approximately 7 servings. Are you having a giraffe, mate? That ain't 7 servings. That's 3. Anyway, so that was 89p, which is on a par with what I normally get, which is the Lidl do a Greek style. A few weeks ago, my legs wouldn't let me get down all the way to Lidl, so I popped into Tesco's and I bought their feta, and it was about £2.20, I think, can't remember now, it's over £2. And the brand, I think on the label it said Yamas. It was horrible, it was really horrible. It had a really kind of bitter, almost vinegary aftertaste. It was vile, so vile. The second half of the block, I didn't eat it. It was, to me, it was unpalatable. Absolutely horrible. What a disappointment. Anyway, so hopefully this won't be. So that was 89p. The other thing I bought in there, before I come to the big purchase, simple thing, hair clip, £2. It's haircuts all the time, just quick wrap my hair up. This is going to sound mad. On my high street, I cannot get a suitable hair clip for my hair. These were Boots. I've got a Boots. Their hair clip, it turns back in on itself, and you have to have really thick curly hair for it to grip. If you've got a straight silky hair, it don't grip. We have a lot of black beauty shops on my high street. No, I'm not talking about shops for horses. I'm not doing Black Beauty the horse. Black Beauty as in my black sisters and their gorgeous skin. And they do all these shops do, you know, it's where I go for cocoa butter, because frankly they have the best stuff. I don't mean they as in black people, I mean they as in the shops on my high street. I would never say they in those kind of terms. But yeah, so all this sort of skincare stuff and all the hair stuff. So I've been into all my Black Beauty shops too to look for this kind of thing. But they tend to be either really, really, really little because they're doing lots and lots of rows, or massive, like one of my friends has really quite long dreads, so she needs a massive clip to get all her dreads up into it. Not my neighbour downstairs, a different friend. Yeah, so whilst I was down there, I thought, you know what, I'm going to pick one up £2 because they do break, the spring breaks, and I don't want to make a special trip down there to get a new clip for £2. Bus fare is £3.50, suddenly the clip's £5.50, so while I'm there I'll pick that up. I looked at Wild, they do stock the Wild deodorants there. They had, I think, 5 different flavours, none of them on offer, so I'll leave that for now because I think Holland and Barrett have another offer on. I also checked out what they had by way of shampoo bars. I don't need any, I've got plenty. Really disappointing to see this because it's a massive shop, massive aisle, like just huge. I mean, longer than the eye can see, bottle after bottle after bottle after, 2 solid bars, and that was it. Really disappointing. Never mind. So I did a little bit of research while I was there as well. So that's purchasing from Sano's, but I also went to Argos. I need to blow my nose. Hang on. That's better. So then there's an Argos in the Sainsbury's, and I went and bought, it's a cool box, like you'd have at a picnic or Barbie. It's on sale at the moment. I'm not advertising it, I don't care, but it's on sale and it was reduced to, I think it was £15. The reason I bought it is because my fridge, I still don't have a fridge. I've been making do, and I don't have a lot of chilled stuff. So for instance, that's all going to go in the freezer. I'm going to cut it up and it's all going to go in the freezer right now. That, I'm going to have about 1/3 of it now for lunch, and then I might have another 1/3 this evening. Certainly in the next couple of days, I can do justice to that, can all be gone. So I don't use the fridge for a lot. I don't drink milk, anyway, I'm aware it's been going on, I'm trying to rattle now. So I don't need a lot of space, but occasionally, like, oh, I need to get a cucumber. I need to go back out and get a cucumber. But if I've got half a cucumber left, just in this heat and humidity, it's gonna, so that's why I bought a cool box. I will use it for now, and then when I move home, if I move into a property that by some great fortune has integrated appliances already there, I can maybe give it to a charity shop, or, you know, keep it, take it with me for, in the sort of like for now, so that when I get to my new home, if that fridge breaks within the first day, or is already, whatever it is, I'll keep it as a backup for when I move. And then once I'm settled and I know I'm happy and stuff, then I can give it to a charity shop, or just put it in my, I was going to say my attic. I won't have an attic, in my basement. I might have a basement, I might have a cellar. Yeah, so that's going to do me grand for the next few weeks, and I will keep using my freezer to freeze Tupperware things full of water, so I've got a constant supply to keep putting in there and changing out. So I've got a bit of a, you know, a little bit of a chill space. Good. Right, now, we're nearly there. There was other stuff I was going to get into this afternoon, but I won't. One final thing to say. I want to say a massive thank you, a hello and thank you to Mary and Rachel. So I've done all my curries bit, got frazzled, had me near panic attack, I think that's what it was, got weepy, got discombobulated, calmed myself, went around the big Sainsbury's, and oh my God, I don't know what's wrong with people, you know. I'm best part of 6 foot, especially in my trainers, elevate me a bit. I'm best part of 6 foot. I'm wearing a bright pink and red dress. I make a noise as I go because my stick goes clomp, clomp, clomp. How can you miss me? I got rammed with trolleys, had my stick knocked out from under me, rammed by another trolley, ram. It was absurd. Nobody, it seemed, had any consideration for anyone else. Everyone's on this kind of like, I know what I want, I know where it is, I'm going to get it. I don't care what's in my way, I'm going. Get out my way, get out my way. Poof, 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 I'm on my way to get it. It was horrible, absolutely horrible. Now, I haven't been shopping for the longest time, you know, whether it was in Currys or B&Q or Sainsbury's. I just use my little supermarkets. I go in, and I use Lidl mostly. I go in, it's fairly busy, but I don't know, it seems more chilled because it's a little shop. You know, I'll grab myself a cucumber, grab some cheese, grab a bag of rice, whatever it is. So yeah, it was a real shock and an assault to my system and my senses today to be, I mean, like I said, I don't mind crowds, I don't mind noise, but there's just something about this shopping, this kind of crazy, you know, just this, yeah, it just, the whole thing was horrible, frankly, horrible. No one gives a two hoots about anyone else. Look, you can see me coming towards you. I'm walking with the stick. You can see I don't walk well. Why? And you're ploughing on. So at the last minute, I have to get out of your way. I mean, for goodness sakes, just slow down. And maybe you can go to the side because you look perfectly able-bodied to me. There might not be, but you looked it. But yeah, so it was really horrible. I hated it. I hated the thought of spending a month's salary on one vacuum cleaner and one toaster. I hate the thought of spending 2 months' salary on a computer. Hated all these people and the noise and the chaos and and this tinny pop music being forced on me. People knocking into me and knocking me over. It's horrible. I couldn't wait to come home. So I was coming up the path and there are 3 bus stops. And my bus stop is the one that's furthest away and I could see my bus pulling in and I kind of knew I was going to miss it. There's no way I can't run. So I'm trying to hobble, up. And I heard a sort of, and I was like, I'm missing this bus, aren't I? Yeah, it's definitely, I'm missing it. But from one side I heard, hello. And I looked around, 2 women. Lovely, beautiful smiles in the afternoon sunshine. So hello, smiling. And then one of the voices said, oh, you don't know me, I'm a viewer. Anyway, it turned out to be Mary. Oh, Mary, I'm still hot. Mary, hello. Mary and her gorgeous grown-up daughter Rachel, the 2 beautiful women. Just gorgeous women sitting there in the afternoon sun waiting for their bus at the bus stop before mine. And, well, I'd missed my bus. What am I going to do? I'm going to sit down and chat to Mary and Rachel. And it was just so lovely. It was just, you know, I don't know, 5-6 minutes out of our day. I don't know how we got onto it. We got onto the world of care workers and bravo to all care workers. And yeah, it was just really nice to stop, to chat, to smile, to engage with each other. And then I could see another bus coming through. I was like, oh, I'm going to have to go now, bye. And I sat on the bus as it pulled away and I thought, Mary, Rachel, you completely turned it around for me. Because I think with the combination of all that shock, and then missing that bus, I think I might have burst into tears. And you know what? I didn't. I ended up smiling and having a lovely few minutes with you both. So thank you. Anyway, I need to wrap it up, don't I? I need to get these cheeses. I need to put the cheeses into the cooler. Fill that. Oh, well, one of the cheeses is going in the freezer anyway. I was thinking what I should probably do is to reduce the temperature in the cooler. Just get a load of ice in there now. And then before I put anything in it, I'm thinking out loud, right, that's enough. It's been a warm day. Okay, so at the end of all of that, yeah, I'm better educated. I think I know better now what I need for the computer and roughly what it's going to cost me. What an interesting morning, afternoon. I've got some veggie parmesan. Do you know what? It's too hot for risotto. But I feel like that's what I should treat myself to. Oh, it's far too hot. All right, gorgeosities, I'm going to shut up because I'm waffling now, aren't I? I will see you all again really soon, I hope. If it's hot and humid where you are, keep a fan to hand and keep your bottle of water topped up, nice chilled water. grab a bag of ice from the cooler onto your forehead. Lovely. I will see you all again for the next one before we know it. So until then, cheerio, lovelies.